Well, good evening, everyone. Let me bring Jim in. How you all doing? This is Sandy Schoelles. It is really good to see you guys. My internet is a little screwy patooey. Hello, everybody. I've got a new setup. Hi, Jim, and let me. I have to fix us since I lost everything because I have no idea why the internet went down, Jim. I have no idea. And I also have no idea why my comments, nobody's showing up in color. I wish I could show you all this, but I mean, it's really great. I got a lot of help setting this all up. And thank you, Bila, because he did a great job. He helped me. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Reason why I had problems last night was not the internet, but the camera and the software kind of took a shit. And hi, Jim. Welcome.
Hi, Sandy. Oh, I'm very familiar with the internet taking a shit.
No,
That's
I'm telling you.
that's all it does up here.
Yeah, well,
Takes a massive dump every day.
it shouldn't be doing that here. And plus, I can't. Let's see if I add somebody. Hi, if I add you to the hi Kim, I can't get the graphics. I can't get anybody's graphics. Oh, for God's sakes, it's always something. So it's a test night, guys. We'll just test. We have a lot to talk about, actually. And hi, Rich Diana. Hello, Gary. Hi, Donald and John and everyone. All right, so let's figure this out. I can't figure out what's wrong with half the shit right now, but I will. I will. So, Jim, what's happening in Alaska? Which we definitely know what was happening in Alaska. Absolutely.
Well, it got the wee bit windy up here.
A wee bit. A wee bit.
Seriously,
Wee bit.
we had a major typhoon just slam into the Bering coastline. The devastation is pretty severe. Um, Whole buildings are just like taken off their foundations and sent into the Bering Sea.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, we had winds were sustained 92, but gusting up to 120. What was really
Wow.
incredible was the ocean waves were like about 50 feet,
Oh my God.
and and we had 12 to 15-foot waves just crashing into the shoreline. And of course, when you go out in western Alaska, it's pretty flat out there, and so it's not much to kind of impede any wave action. A couple villages had you know, the like island barriers just totally removed, and these island barriers would provide break from storm surges and that sort of stuff, but they were completely wiped out.
We saw
I think it was
videos.
Shaktolic.
We saw some
So
videos. It was
it
awful.
was it was pretty horrendous. There's flooding. I mean, not only were houses taken off their foundations, but total roads just like disappeared. I mean, it's
Unreal.
just absolutely
Ugh.
a very devastating storm, and it actually moved up through the Bering Strait into the Chukchi and East Siberian seas. So it
Wow.
was bringing a wee bit of discomfort up to that area. But the storm
Wow.
really filled in the entire Bering Sea. It was saying, well, it's covered three time zones. But of course, three time zones at high latitude is less distance than three time zones at the equator. So that was kind of a silly, a silly comparison to make. But when you look at at the map, that damn thing just filled in the Bering. It went from literally from Kamchatka to the Aleutian Chains to the Alaska Peninsula. It was a huge megastorm,
Big one.
and it, and when
Big
you look
one.
at the tracking of it, it tracked from the Northwest Pacific Ocean and went in a northeasterly direction. And when you happen to look at the sea surface temperatures in the northwestern Pacific Ocean, oh, doogly googly, was it warm? So it
Say that again.
it just so it just picked up a shitload
Oh,
of heat energy, and that just fueled it. And and the other thing is that yes, September is typically oceanic summer, but we still historically would have sea ice forming,
yeah.
and the sea ice can at least dampen, break up some of the wave actions, and so forth. Well, there's no sea ice, nothing to dampen the
Oh my
wave,
God.
and that help contribute to the to the storms just slamming away. It was pretty horrific.
Unreal.
And
Unreal.
and here i and here in interior Alaska, we weren't exactly immune from the effects. I mean, we
No.
had high winds and heavy rains here. Um, we to the point where trees were getting blown over and taking out the power line, which meant the electricity and the internet goes belly up. So it was just
Belly up. Belly up. Yeah. Oh boy.
it was a snotty one.
Well, I'm just glad you're all okay. And now we have to go through the whole Florida thing where I was on Twitter today bitching about my mother, who's 88, who like refuses to leave Sarasota, and so I've had three different scientists looking at, let's see, the soil stratification in her area. I don't know if she's gonna slide off her friggin' property, and then there was Nicholas and who else? Somebody else I had, but she's staying. She's got some friends there, and that's that. So that's I don't even know if she's watching tonight. I mean, I told her to watch, that we were gonna be talking about things, but I didn't expect that everything was not gonna go right yesterday and today. And I guess that's what happens when you set up a new studio. Shit happens. Shit happens.
But
Shit happens. It's
you know what,
happening.
what's the mean elevation of Florida? Like 6 feet? I mean,
This is terrible. We can't do this. We can't do this. 6 feet. Oh boy. Yeah, well, I know. And she lives like near some water, but not she's not right on the water. I keep forgetting that she moved away from the water. So she's in on the east side of 75. But she's still, well, now she's got friends staying with her, so that's good. That's good.
so
Oh,
so so can we take a Sharpie and just say this is the actual storm path and draw on a map right to Mar-a-Lago? Can we just do that?
oh, wait, yeah. Could we let's do the first? Let's see if this works. Let's do the first flush of the day. Let's do this. This is for Mar-a-Lago. Woo! Uh-oh, wrong one. That wasn't the flush. Wait.
Well, that
Earl, are
works
you?
too.
Yeah, are you here,
That
Earl?
works too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm testing the flushes. Yeah. Yes. Oh, by the way, hey Jude. Yes, I saw it. Anyone see Jason Box's video on Fiona's impact on the Greenland ice sheet? Like 6 inches of rain or more, I think it was. And forgive me, guys,
That's
I have to test everything. So if everything looks crazy, sorry. Yeah, Sharpie hurricane. Oh no.
that, that's actually significant. Professor Box does excellent research there, and you have all that rain going on to the Greenland ice sheet. That's going to do some major melting of the
Oh,
Greenland ice sheet, because don't forget, if it's falling as rain, it means it's liquid, which means its temperature is above 0 C, which means that
God.
it's going to work its way through the ice.
Right through. So tell me about that. So if we already had a lot of damage, and somebody had already asked a question about the methane damage, is this going to be even more seepage now of methane coming up because of this rain and this weather system?
Well, for example, going back to Moorbeck, I love the name of that
Yes.
typhoon, by the way. So
More back.
sounds like
More
sounds like
back.
something out of Sounds like something out of Tolkien. But anyway,
Yeah, right.
but there's actually some
Okay.
evidence, and the studies being done that all that wave action, especially the storm action and the churning, will actually uh, degrade the substrate, and thereby causing the substrate to release more methane as a
Oh
result of
God.
storm wave action. So look for uh, um, an increase in methane releases from the Bering Sea in through the Strait into the Chukchi and East Siberian, because even though it had lost a lot of its power by the time it went through the Bering Strait, it still was enough there to churn things up, so it could be interacting and possibly causing more methane releases. So that is definitely a
Ooh.
concern. The rain issue, going back to Greenland, as said before, that's going to have major implications, because depending, there's going to be a lot of fresh water that's been
Mm-hmm.
added there. That's going to cause a lot of melting. It's going to work its way through the ice, probably right down to the bedrock. So it may even help lubricate the base. Eventually will work its way down, but it may even help lubricate the base where the
Wow.
ice sits on the bedrock, and perhaps increase, you know, its flow to the ocean. Turn into a galloping glacier.
A galloping gourmet of a glacier.
And when you look,
Oh,
oh my word, galloping gourmet, Graham Care. Who about that?
yeah,
Anyway,
remember that. Yeah, we're showing our
there's
age.
a blast from the past. Anyway, yeah, yes we
Hmm.
are.
Right? Oh my
The
God.
guy's still alive. He's like
And
he's
he
like
is?
88 now or something like
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
but but anyway, but when you look at Fiona though, Fiona uh, was a very powerful storm. I mean, we're talking, maritime Canada does very rarely, hardly ever gets a storm that's basically a Cat 4, Cat 3, Cat 4 borderline there, slamming into it. But and it made a beeline, right, basically for Cape Breton Island.
It was really
And
scary.
Cape Breton Island is like, if you've never been there, you need to go there. It's friggin' gorgeous. Um, I was, the Cabot Trail is actually, I think, listed as one of the most spectacular scenic drives in the world. So I definitely recommend that. Um, Nova Scotia is just a cool province. It's like one of my favorite places to go to. But it made
Mm.
a huge beeline for that, which is also unusual, because any storms coming out of the Atlantic that does make it that far north tends to actually kind of follow the tracking of the Gulf Stream. So it tends to veer to the northeast.
Mm.
This one didn't, just straight straight at Cape Breton. It's
Mm.
just absolutely nuts. And
It is nuts.
just and again, when you look, in fact, since you've got that NOAA thing there, maybe if you can scroll down to where it says North Atlantic
Okay.
and
I'm
click on the
just
middle
playing.
panel.
Okay. I'm just trying to play the North Atlantic. Yeah. And this is another thing. I've got these screens, and the problem is I don't know. All right. Which one do you want now? I have to roll
It-
over here and roll over there. The office is so big. I don't know what to do with myself. All right. Okay. Where
Roll
do you
over
want me to
Beethoven. Okay.
roll
There should be
over?
a North Atlantic line in there,
North. Okay, North Atlantic. Now let's see if I can open it up.
and
All right. Look at that. It worked.
did you and click on the
Whoops.
middle? I prefer the middle panel of those rows because it shows a better
Okay.
delineation
All right.
of what's
North
going on.
Atlantic. All right.
The
So
middle one there.
you guys are with
Yeah.
me. This is the maiden voyage.
Take
This is the test. Yep. This is the test. Okay.
so can you enlarge that a wee bit there?
Okay.
So now keep in mind that this is actual sea surface temperatures. These are not deviations from any, you know, time period averages. but
I'm playing. I'm
you can
sorry.
almost see the we can almost see how much warmer the southern portion of the North Atlantic Ocean is versus when you get up towards the New England, the maritime provinces. It's so Fiona picked up a lot of that energy that you see in those warmer temp. We're talking, what's that, about 22 C is
Yep.
the where it gets red there. That's a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
It picked up there, and
It's a
it
lot.
brought it right up to there. And what we're seeing when we look at that market uh, change in temperatures, well, first of all, we can see how the Gulf Stream starts veering off to the northeast. So we get that separation there. But we're also starting
Okay.
to see the effect of all that meltwater in the North Atlantic that's starting to slow down AMOC, so that now the Gulf Stream itself is slowing down,
Mm-hmm.
which means it's bringing less of that warm water to the higher latitudes. So we're starting to see some of the uh, implications, ramifications of what's going on in North Atlantic with all the ice melt and AMOC
Mm.
and the Gulf Stream slowing down. But it just
Oh.
with such a strong gradient in temperature there, it picked up a lot of that energy and just delivered it to to Cape Breton, basically. And
Now I
it
gotta.
went, and then from there went up into Newfoundland. There was
Yeah.
a fatality up in Newfoundland. An elderly lady lost her life. Um,
Oh.
and there was some, again, more structures washed out to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So it was still, it was causing significant havoc and damage.
Oh, brother. I'm working on something. Now I can't get this to go smaller. Okay, let's edit it. Forgive me, guys. This is brand new, and it's not brand new, but it's not exactly working the way I'd like it to. I think I'll shut it off. Okay, Jim, let's work on each other. Let's talk so I can get this fixed and go back and get this back. Okay, so next, which I can't pull up. Forgive me, guys. I know you're all putting up, all of you are so wonderful putting up. Oh, she wants me to make a boom. Yeah. Let's see. Irony in knowing what we know. Guy flew to New Zealand today and climate change affected the flight. He was interviewed on New Zealand TV, not a climate expert, but just a passenger. Couldn't write this. Oh, he was just interviewed as a passenger. So he was okay. All right, guys. I'm working on getting that screen back. Shit. Now it's too big. Nothing wants to work right. Oh my gosh. Well,
And
we're working on it.
there's some
Yeah.
other things also to keep in mind. I mean, for of course, one data point does not make a trend, but when you start
Right.
getting a bunch of happening, then then a trend does start to emerge. Um, Justin Trudeau actually came out today in the wake of what Fiona did and said, "Yeah, this is a result of climate change." He just bluntly stated it. Well, okay, yeah,
Oh, that's
politicians
nice.
should have been stating the perils of climate change for the last 40, 50 bloody years. But there an argument can be made that the power of these storms. I mean, storms are going to occur. I mean, September is the oceanic summer, so you expect storms. Cat 4 hitting the Maritimes. That's a that's a whole new world of hurt there. I mean,
Yeah, that
it's
is. It is a whole new world of hurt. And we were not ready for this. No. Is there something else you want me to pull up? Because while I'm playing and trying and doing and figuring, what do you want me to do?
actually, let's see.
Because
Let
nothing's
me look.
working like I wanted it
I
to.
got my own tabs. Let me take
All
a
right.
tabs here.
Tell me what, because I lost when the
Um,
internet went
but
down, I lost
these storms
everything.
between
Oh, I got that gnome nugget. The gnome nugget?
No, the no, yeah,
Yeah.
with the structure being washed out to sea.
Yeah, there you go. Can you guys see this? Now, see, this is what I have to being that I'm just new, I might have to move these screens around. I'm not sure which one works for me. All right, so the gnome nugget. That's what you wanted to show before. Was what exactly did you want to show? I
Well,
can't make it that much bigger.
I think there's the first article down talks about the storm's impact. Now again,
Here
the
we go.
Gnome Nugget, it's a very small publication. It's
Yeah.
behind a paywall. You can't even read
Okay.
the entire article, but
No.
but
Well,
the,
it's
it shows.
showing it. It's showing it. It is
I
here.
couldn't get the damn thing to come up here. I got
Well,
told you
I'm
have to do a
special.
subscription.
I'm special,
I
Jim.
guess so.
Yeah, right. I'm specially feel like I'm not I can't. Bila, I need you back. I have to change around the screens. Oh my god. I'm silly.
But I mean, I
Okay.
can't quite tell what got pulled up there. But
All right,
there
I
was
pulled it up.
one very prominent photo, or at least a still from from a little video, where all you see is the chimney going through the metal roof of a structure, and it's in the sea, floating toward the bridge. I mean, it was just like crazy.
I can't even make it go up. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, nope, went back. Thank you guys for being so patient. Seriously, I'm going to have a lot of work to do on this thing to make it work like I want it to. So it's still cool though. I mean, I see it. Can you guys see it? Tell me yes or nay. Hey, Collapse Chronicles, welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, let's see here. Okay, so Jim, what else did see? We had. All right, that's Twitter, but we had your what else did you have that I lost? There was this. Let's see if we can pull this. No, that's the sea. That's the sea surface. We already did that. I know you sent me a bunch of things. Oh, everything's just not okay. This one.
Oh yeah, yeah, from the CBC,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the Energy Mix.
This was the Weather Channel.
Oh, it's
They
Weather
said,
Channel. Okay.
yeah, the historic storm for Atlantic Canada, deadly storm in the Caribbean.
I mean, we get all these storms just on top of each other. This is this is because, don't forget, I'm going to keep stressing this until the entire planet understands this. But the
Okay.
oceans have absorbed 93% of the heat energy of our
Yes.
greenhouse gas emission. Well, that heat energy is going to make its way back to the atmosphere one way or the other through passive diffusion or active transport, such as these storms here. So, all that heat energy is fueling these storms, and that heat energy goes back into the atmosphere, which will increase the temperatures ever more. And I am now seeing some projections saying that, well, crap, we could be 5C above pre industrial levels by 2050.
Wow. 2050. Yeah, well, that's,
I-
I mean, I'm not saying wow.
Yeah,
We know
by
this. We all know this, Jim.
20,
Everybody knows this is happening.
yeah.
I mean, everybody here.
So
Maybe
it's
my
like
mother
me,
doesn't.
once again, I was,
I
but,
lost you. Say it again.
but yeah, but I was saying this shit a year or so ago, or
Yes,
six
you
months ago.
were.
And now I think people finally starting to it's because everyone focuses on the atmosphere. No one's focusing on or very few people are focusing on the oceans. The
Well, we
oceans is
now
what's going to
know.
drive everything.
Well, because they've got the heat. That was what I was trying to tell my mom. It's not just that, well, we haven't really gotten hit by a hurricane. It's the heat in the oceans, Ma. I tried to tell her that, but it's okay. What can you do?
Yeah,
She's going to stay there.
it's and when you think that most of that heat is concentrated in the upper 5 to 700 meters, oh shit! Of
Well,
course it's going
shit.
to cause some
Well,
havoc.
shit. Well, shit. Okay. You could tell my
put
mood.
that in the
Well, shit.
put that in the discussion. Write a formal paper. So, okay, all that heat energy. Well, shit, man.
All that heat energy. I've got lots of heat energy tonight. Yeah. My God. My God. Boy, the chats they are chatting. Yeah. You guys are chatting. And you know what? I don't even have a video. I didn't even make a video for tonight. I don't even have an intermission. I don't even have any pictures. Nothing. But you guys are with us. And that's awesome. That's awesome. How about some questions and answers for Jim, and I could put them up while we're here. I mean, because I actually don't have anything from. I mean, I could probably look for something, but I probably can't find anything except for us. Oh wait, I can find Florida. I mean, everybody's we've got Florida on, but everybody knows that Florida is going to be pretty messed up. I don't even know if you guys could hear it if I played it. I'm going to test anyway. Should I try one, Jim? What do you think? Should I try the video?
Well, tonight's it's test night, so might
All
as well
right,
test away.
all right, test night. I'm going to see this. You guys tell me if you can hear this. I don't know if I'll get a copyright by this one,
Florida,
but let's see if it works.
Hurricane Ian.
Okay.
Already a Category 1 storm. It's expected to rise to Cat 4 by the time it makes landfall. And regardless of where it hits, folks in Tampa are being told to expect the water level there to rise to historic levels. Here's Stephen Fabian.
A monster is coming. The state of Florida today bracing for impact.
Hurricane Ian on track to become a monster storm.
Setting sights on the Florida coast now.
Residents right now bracing for impact.
This is a really bad situation for Tampa Bay.
Forecasters are modeling where Ian will make landfall. The models look like spaghetti along Florida's Gulf Coast, and the consensus is Tampa will take a major hit. I spoke to WCBS meteorologist John Elliott.
It is day after day after day after day after day of just sitting and spinning and strengthening. It is going to rip up the west coast of Florida like a buzzsaw.
Over the weekend, we saw Hurricane Fiona wreak havoc on the Canadian coast, washing away homes, leaving devastation in its wake. Now it looks like Tampa is next. The predictions are ominous. Worst hurricane to hit Tampa in over 100 years. 15-foot waves, 135 miles per hour winds.
It could be the storm they hoped would never come.
A storm surge could send up to 8 feet of water into Tampa, overwhelming the city's flood defenses.
Tampa has not had a direct hit since 1921. And remember, 2, 3, 4, that talks about wind speed. But flooding, rain, it's all going to combine to cause all kinds of problems and heartache.
People are heeding the dire warnings. There are long lines at gas stations and at supermarkets, empty shelves, sandbags getting filled. If you get that warning to evacuate, you gotta listen, right?
Not only do you need to listen to the warnings, you need to do it in a timely way. Time is of the essence. By Wednesday, it is going to be too late.
Experts say the major potential for damage from Hurricane Ian is the storm surge, not from wind.
And actually, that's what Nicholas said. Nicholas Humphrey. That's what he said. He said that it was going to be... Okay, so we had a video. Yay, it worked. I'm happy now. All right, so do I play the applause? Okay. Yay, it worked. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah. We know that. Okay, that worked. That worked. So now I guess Inside Edition gave us a pretty good little video there. So what do you think, Jim? Florida going to be fucked?
Yep.
Oh, that's nice. I hope my mother's house isn't fucked. Honestly, I hope not.
mean,
Well, they're like I said, they're east of there. She's east of the of 75, outside of Sarasota. But we should see. Yeah. Hey, hi, Mindy. Mindy's with us. Mindy. Hi, Mindy. Everybody say hi to Mindy. She was our graphic artist forever. Yay. Hi, Mindy. It's good to see you. And Patty P. T-Bone's here. Okay, T-Bone. T-Bone is actually down there. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, wait a minute. Here's a question. What is this? How did Fiona get from the Caribbean to Canada in 2 days while it's taking Ian twice as long to go less than half the distance? All right, Jim, there's a good one for you.
Okay, 2 words, and it's going to be technical. Topographic steering.
All right, let's go for it.
Basically, what you have when you have rotating bodies, there's vorticity involved. And right now, when you look at what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico, okay, the storm is going to sit there because the basin is pretty much uniform. Because if you, I mean, the math gets complicated here, so I don't even want to go there. But
Oh, you can go there.
when
Let's see
when
what we can
when
do.
storms when storms and eddies, move, storms in the ocean, storms in the atmosphere, eddies in the ocean, what have you, they're rotating. And as they move over, if the substrate that they're moving over gets deeper, then typically what happens is the eddies will actually get smaller in diameter but pick up in intensity. And then when they go over a shallower area, they spread out but slow down. The well-known analogy is, think of a figure skater. When the figure skater brings the arms in, they spin faster. Well, what happens? They bring their arms in, they make themselves taller. So you have basically topographic steering that's guiding, in essence, the storm, and it's just going to sit there and spin
Mm-hmm.
to get up to fast speed. Also picking up at the same time, picking up the ocean energy. So there's also ocean energy that's really concentrated there, and that helps to get it to a Cat 3, 4, what have you. With the case of Fiona, well, again, topographic steering, it got steered right up the Atlantic. That's
Right
why
up.
when you look at oceanic gyres, there's a phenomenon called western intensification.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at the gyres, the western side of the gyres is narrow, but it's deeper, and it moves a hell of a lot faster than the eastern side of the gyres, where it spreads out very wide and slows down.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that? Because Earth is an oblate spheroid, and
Yeah.
it's spinning, and there's liquid on it which sloshes it around. So it's trying to balance the Coriolis effect. It's trying to balance vorticity. It's trying to balance the pressure gradient. All these things are trying to get in balance. And when you get a storm that's on the western side of an ocean basin, it's going to move fast because it's topographic steering, and it's balancing all the things I just mentioned: Coriolis,
Okay.
vorticity,
So I think that was
all
a
that kind of stuff.
pretty good answer to a question that maybe Collapse Chronicles thought might get. Yeah. Okay, so how about this one? Foggy says, Environmental Coffee House, what does Jim Massa think of Boylan's? Oh, nothing's even staying long. Boylan Slat, his age, and how in 5 years he has cleaned a lot of the ocean up with his ocean cleanup watercraft ocean vacuum cleaner inventions. Well, you're an ocean guy. What do you think of that?
Say that again. I didn't catch
Okay,
that.
there's a guy who did the ocean guy who's cleaning up the ocean. His name is Boylan Slat. He's young, and in 5 years he's cleaned a lot of the ocean up with his ocean cleanup watercraft vacuum cleaner inventions. Do you think that can make a difference for us? For
Well,
anybody?
is he cleaning up the plastic?
Yeah, I believe so. That's why
Is,
I've got the
is he the
question.
guy that's out in the garbage patch?
I think so. I think that's the guy, right, Foggy? Yeah. Well, let's see. I'll tell
No,
you
I
what I
thought
think.
I didn't.
Good,
I saw it.
no matter what.
I thought I saw it, and basically saying that it really making things worse and wasn't doing well. I think it was from that guy. I just didn't know his name. It was. I think his saying is like it was turning out to be disappointing in its effectiveness. But
Aw.
yeah,
Well, you know what? I give anybody a
it's
shot.
just
You know,
there's just too
be
much. There's
safe.
just too much crap out there.
It's true. There is quite a bit of crap out there. You have, I
I mean,
think you have
Pacific
that
garbage
list.
patch is what the size of what France? I mean, the damn thing out there. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I know. But you got to give this guy credit. You got to
Oh,
give him credit.
I'm not ridiculing him. I'm just
Oh,
basically saying that it's he's saying that it's not as effective as he was hoping.
let's see. Hey, Rick Larson. Finally caught a live show over time. There is a reason. Florida, flat, and now going to flood. Well, that's a comment. Let me get some more questions. Oh, CB's with us. Hi, CB. He said, Jim, biggest problem this evening in Nova Scotia is people didn't put up enough gas for generators. Gas is in short supply. Did you hear anything about what's going on up there for people with fuel power and all that?
Um, well, it's hard to prepare for something that you usually don't get. And then when you get 3 days notice, kind of hard to get prepared
Yeah,
because
that's true.
yeah,
That's true.
everyone's going to be running for trying to get what's quickly diminishing. It's just like everything else, more and more people for dwindling resources. It's it comes down to math.
Running for their lives. All right, let's see. I'm looking for questions because why not? All right. Well, anyway, she says Foggy just says okay, there's tons of videos on YouTube. Okay, we will check it out. And maybe I could maybe Foggy you could help me. Maybe we could get him to be a guest. Wouldn't that be cool? Yes, yes, yes. So we'll think about that for sure. Thank you so much. All right, let's see here. I'm looking for more questions and oh, he's only 25 years old when he started. That's what it is. That's it's commendable. It's definitely commendable. And
Well,
his name is
what
Boyland. Yeah.
what it sounds like is just that he really needs to ramp up um, the size of the operation, like have it go really big time industrial.
Well, we're definitely going to check him out. She says it's almost the whole. He's touched some of the whole garbage patch, and if that's happening, that's phenomenal. That is definitely phenomenal. Thank you so much, Foggy. That's awesomely wonderful to bring up something sometimes, that we don't always hear about. All right, let's see. How about this? Thoughts on nuclear war versus ice-free Arctic next summer? Oh, that's lovely, Casey. Oh, yeah. Do you think the crazy man is going to launch any kind of small tactical little nukes or what?
Um, I don't think so, and I'm a pessimist by nature. And the reason why I don't think so is that he knows that even though Ukraine is not a NATO country, but Article 5 will be triggered. I mean, the fact that even when he was messing around near the Zaporizhia nuclear plant, the US and the UK officials sent out warnings saying, if you do anything where radiation is released, we will consider that an attack on NATO, instigating Article 5. Now, as Biden said, it depends on what he does will be our response. Now, you can be pretty assured that they've already worked through a whole bunch of scenarios and they've got a whole bunch of contingency plans ready to be implemented in a nanosecond. So, one of the first things that would happen is that, again, if he did a small, act in, let's say, the Luhansk Oblast there, um, Putin can kiss his Black Sea Fleet goodbye.
Well, he does want to get
You
the
know,
Arctic. He wants the Arctic
also,
Silk Road.
also China and India, so Z and Modi, are basically telling Putin to end the damn war. And I saw some reports, coming out of Europe and stuff, that they've given Putin 2 months, and that if he doesn't end this thing in 2 months, they're going to start
Oh,
joining the
shit.
West in sanctioning Russia.
Really?
And if Putin uses a nuke, Z will consider that to be a line that's gone too far, and he will distance himself from Putin.
So if he uses a
So
nuke, it's magical
Putin's a
thinking.
crazy SOB, but but he's not suicidal.
We'll see. All right, let's see. Well, I hope
We'll
that
see.
helped. Our military drops thousands of bombs a year and has depleted uranium. Well, that's probably something that we should think about. And Rich says we're dumping more billions of arms in Ukraine, and Putin keeps saying, "Come on, this time I mean it. Come on now." Well, we're not going to get into the war because that's so contentious. But you guys asked, and I said that I would. This is, we are getting
One
question and answers.
one I'll just make this one final thing about what people don't understand is that it's more than Ukraine fighting for its sovereignty. It's really autocracy. It's really
Yeah.
about, because if Putin is not stopped in Ukraine, if you think he's going to stop in Ukraine, well, I've got you some lovely saguaro cacti up here in Alaska to sell you, because he will continue on to
Okay.
Moldova. He'll continue on to the Baltic.
Ay, ay,
I
ay.
mean, he will continue because he wants to. He says he's the next Peter the Great. I want to restore the Russian Empire. He has
Yeah,
democracy
it's true.
depends on it.
It's true. It's true. All right, let's see here. Let me see. I got some more here. All right. What are the ramifications? Did I ask you this? Of the meltwater
And
on the
and
tectonic
and by
plates.
the
Oh,
by,
sorry.
by
Sorry. Go ahead.
oh, and by the way, okay, I wasn't going to say anything, but this has become personal for me. A friend of mine who I had not heard of in many, many months finally contacted me.
Oh.
She has a cottage in Bucha. Her cottage has been destroyed. Her husband, a friend of mine, was one of the ones, hands tied behind the back, shot in the back of the head.
Lovely. I'm so sorry.
So,
That's war. It sucks.
Oleg.
War sucks. Well, thank
Yeah.
you for
So,
sharing. I
yeah.
want to throw up.
So, what was that about the?
Uh, what's the ramifications of the weight of the
So, what was that
meltwater
thing
on the
about the?
tectonic plates? Weight of the meltwater on those tectonic
Well, I just did a
plates.
video on that.
Yeah, today, was that the one you just let out today?
They,
Was that today's?
no, that was
No.
a couple of
Okay.
videos back.
All right, I have to
Shifting
watch.
the Earth's axis.
I'm
Uh,
behind.
Basically, you're redistributing the mass. You're redistributing the mass, so that's going to change basically the tilt of the axe. The axe is going to, it's going to go through the pole, but how it wobbles and tilts in space is going to change around. So it's going to affect the tilt and the wobble of the axis, which then affects how the incoming solar radiation is distributed across the planet.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to play. I'm going to bring us both back.
It's almost like accelerating Milankovitch effects.
Right? Oh, boy. I think we're a little big here. All right, I'm going to get some more, but I'm going to make us a little smaller. Sorry, guys.
That dude on the right.
Look at that dude on the right. Look at that dude on the right. I don't even think I have our names down. I didn't even put the names down the bottom. I got like and buy me a coffee. I don't have our names for the bottom. Oh Lord, doesn't really friggin' matter, does it? I could probably play a little bit while you guys are. Wait, no. Well, I could. Let's move me over. See, you guys. See, this is what happens behind the scenes. I'm not since obviously I'm not showing anything else, and this is all new. But okay, questions. Now that we have our names in the right place, I think. Uh, Channel War Horse. Let's see. Scott Congdon. Okay. Question. Don't you believe it will increase earthquake and volcanic activities due to intrusion? What do you think, Jim?
That's not my area of expertise. I'm an oceanographer, not a geophysicist or a seismologist or anything like that. So
Okay.
I won't even try to speculate.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. All right. No, no, no. That's okay. It's good that you have to be honest. Environmental Coffee House. How fierce do you think these storms could get in terms of category? And also, how often do you think they might be occurring? Well, me, because I'm a nobody and I don't know anything. But from my gut and from what I've studied, Dee Dee, what I think is that the storms, of course, are going to get stronger in intensity. What we may not have as many, because we don't know, may not have as many, but they're going to get stronger and more intense because of the fact that the ocean is warmer and they pick up and they churn and they get. I mean, Jim would agree with me there. He's the one that taught me. Right, Jim?
Well, yeah.
Really?
I actually think a new category 6 should be introduced.
You think?
We have category 1 through 5 for the hurricanes, but there should be a category 6 for anything of like over 165 miles per hour sustained, because such storms of such strength, it would not surprise me. Um, as the oceans heat up, as the temperature gradients, uh, depending on where in the ocean, they either get stronger or lesser. But couple that with with the meandering jet stream, and you're going to start, seeing storms being pushed all over the place.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think. I mean, based on
And I
since I've
think
been doing this.
to amend, and I think to amend my prior answer about Fiona, the dipping down jet stream probably helped push it up to Canada so quickly. That it probably latched a ride on a jet stream,
Latched a ride, hitched a ride, took a
in addition to
ride,
everything else.
hitching a ride. Okay, all right. Well, Poppy said, yeah, category 6, 7, and 8 coming soon to a theater near you. Oh, yeah. Sure, sure. All right, let's see. Okay. Oh, Earl. Will Trump toss out paper towels? This is what I think. Here, this is for Trump. Yeah. This is the Donald J. Trump fart of the day. We have the flush of the day and the fart of the day. I have a new sound effect. Sorry. Oh my God. So this is definitely not one of my
Well,
most professional
as
shows.
long as he uses, as long as he uses bounty,
Right.
as long as he uses bounty, the quicker picker upper.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, Jim. It takes 500 years for the oceans to make a total circulation of the planet. Does that mean we gain a couples of hundreds of years before the real heat arrives? What do you think?
That's actually a really good question. What's being referred to there is you know, if you were to follow a parcel of water from uh, where it first starts to sink in the North Atlantic as it traverses what we colloquially call the conveyor belt, by the time it flows through on the quickest route and makes its way back to the North Atlantic, it's actually about more of like a 570-year journey according to Wally Broca's work. There are other branches that split off and take a little longer, and that can bring up the time span to 700, 900 years or something like that, depending where the branches go. But when you keep in mind that the conveyor belt is really a heat distribution mechanism for the planet, and if the conveyor belt does slow down, then the heat distribution mechanism is impeded. So now the question is, okay, so AMOC slows, then what happens to the rest of it? Well, it's still going to have a bit of momentum behind it, so it will still continue to do the thermal haline flow, albeit at a slower pace. Now, in the past, we have evidence that when such events take place, that this is enough to tip the planet into a cooling state of conditions there. I used to, subscribe to thinking, but heat energy in the upper 700 meters, and that heat will diffuse to the atmosphere. I think it's at the point now that even the conveyor does slow down, even stop, that heat energy will still diffuse to the atmosphere and still warm planets up. Now, what will happen in the North Atlantic that area, Scandinavia, the UK, those regions there, they will cool down because now they don't have the heat from the Gulf Stream being brought to them. So they will actually so that will be the cool spot on the planet as far as, when compared to historic records, while the rest of the planet will be warmer than average. But then again, you also have to take into account what is the North Atlantic Oscillation doing? What is the Arctic Oscillation doing? What's the Pacific Decadal Oscillation doing?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, everything is tied together. Everything is very complex. But, part of that Moorbeck being so strong was look at the heat energy that was in the North Pacific, specifically Northwestern Pacific. So that's an example of, yeah, you might get regional cooling, but you're going to get other cooling. In the past, as I said, you would get at least hemispheric cooling when AMOC slow to stop. Now I think it's just going to be regional.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, we've got a busy group out here. Everybody. Okay, Scott, again, higher pressure will in fact force more water intrusion into the subduction zones, causing an increase in volcanic and earthquake activity and intensity of them. And it's happening now. Scientist
Higher
Scott.
pressure from what source?
Well, let's see if Scott can
No, I'm
answer
good.
that.
Higher pressure from what source? Are we talking about the extra water being added? Well, if that's the case, yes, then you have a taller water column, which does exert more pressure at the base. That's
Oh.
basic physics.
And he said it will increase the strength. Oh, I have to change these things. It will increase the strength of the piezoelectricity created by the earth, creating more and more intense thunderstorms. We are in for a ride, folks. I would say, yes. We're already taking that ride. Yeah, we're already taking that ride. All right, guys, 7:55. We've been almost an hour. Let's get a few. Do we have any more questions that we want to do? Because obviously I'm not going to make this a super long show since I have a lot of notes to take on things I have to fix. And again, I also want to thank Bila Lou Greasy for being here and helping me set this whole thing up, which I could never have done without him. He's a great friend. I am so grateful. I'm just going to have to, though. I wish you were still here because I want to swap around the monitors. God knows what's going to happen if I do that. Hey, Vegematic. Oh, he's worried about T-Bone in Florida. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. He told me to tell my mother to get the hell out, and he didn't. So we're gonna worry about what's the population of Florida, Jim? What do you think? We're gonna worry about I won't worry about Mar-a-Lago and its inhabitants at all. But no, really, seriously, there's a lot of people, a lot of wildlife, and a lot of, in harm's way everywhere. I mean, we just went through, what did we just go through watching Pakistan? 1/3 of the country covered with water now. And is it still happening
Yeah.
that way? We have to, we have to, circle back. I've been on this little vacation here, but we have to circle back. And some people say the AMOC will slow and stop and flip us into an ice age. Any thoughts, Jim, on that one? What do you think?
Well, as I just mentioned, historically, that is the indication when AMOC slows or stops, the overall, at least hemispherically, but probably overall for the planet, does cool down, and perhaps it help instigate the accretion of glaciers and ice ages. But now with all that oceanic heat in there, to the tune of, of at least 168 zettajoules in the upper 500, 700 meters, 247 down to 2,000 meters. All that heat energy is going to get to the atmosphere one way or the other. And that will warm the planet considerably, such that now that even if AMOC slows, and we are seeing evidence that it's slowing down, which means if AMOC slows, the Gulf Stream slows. So what that means, I think, is that you will see regional cooling. So Scandinavia will have snottier, colder, wetter winters, and the UK will experience a similar things. So the physics is definitely changing. I want to bring up a point. You talk about Pakistan flooding.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing now disparities. We're seeing areas just getting flooded immensely, and then you got other areas with severe drought where the rivers are drying up. I think the River, the Rhine, the Po River in Europe are drying up. The Rhine is so low now that commercial shipping can't take place on it anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've been
like
seeing that.
there's only like a foot of water left, so and the Po Valley is drying up. And the Po Valley, they grow a lot of rice there. Rice is a crop that needs a lot of water. So we're going to start seeing rice crop failures coming out of that region. And as the planet warms, you get these changing precipitation pattern. We're going to start seeing crop failures on a very terrifying scale. That's going to result in food shortages, I fear.
Oh no, it's not fear. It's happening. I think it's starting. I do. I want to. There was where is he? I got to go back and find it. And then Foggy, I'll get to yours, but it's kind of a little off. But it's a show that I would like to do about rain barrels. She's talking about. Does Jim think about a program to give families rain barrels and show them how to save water for neighborhoods in the USA? Well, Foggy, I think it's a show that maybe is not for Jim, but is for me since I have one. And we had a drought, but right now we are talking about severe rain events. And I don't know if the people could give two shits about a rain barrel at this moment. But honey, I love you. No, I love you. Don't get mad at me. I'm just thinking of where the
Actually,
go ahead.
one thing I would really like to see is, let's take, what's one of the most wasteful things we do? We flush a toilet.
Yeah, well, of
You know,
course, and
yeah,
we do
yeah,
it here
you you
many times.
you have you have clean water, then you put material in there where it's no longer clean, and then it gets flushed. Now, I happen to have an electric toilet up here, so I don't. So my toilet does not use water. It
Okay.
basically bakes everything down into a powder. I call it shit. But yeah,
Humanure.
so I do my business, and it just cooks it down into a powder. But what I would like to see is a system where you capture gray water, from your, a shower, your washing machine, that kind of stuff there, and you take that gray water and you use that in your toilet.
Jim's
So you
electric
don't
chair.
have to use.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's with me tonight. We're having such a serious show and serious
It,
issues, and I can't stop laughing.
when
I
you
guess that's
when you have permafrost here and the option is to spend
yeah,
$25,000 to put in an above ground septic system
yeah, that's
versus
true.
$1,700 for an electric toilet,
Hmm.
I
Hey,
don't have to worry about it freezing and shit backing up.
I have an outhouse, but I have a bucket. And I'm actually making humanure. I have a bucket, so it's just a bucket. You open it up, you take it out, you make humanure, you
But
put the bucket back in, and there you go. And in the and actually, I was using it when.
but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying that I think a system to capture gray water, if a lot of households did that, in fact, the great majority of households did that, the savings in water usage would be tremendous because the gray water is already going to be sent into a sewage system or your
Hmm.
your leach field and all that kind of stuff there. But if you recapture it and then use that to flush your toilet, it's a win-win-win all around.
And David says his compost toilet separated liquid from solid, and it was great for growing the garden. So you use your manure in your garden. That I haven't. I don't want to do that. I haven't used manure in the garden of food I'm going to eat, but I'm using the manure in the plants that I am going to consume for pain. There you go.
I, I've heard use waste for composting for crops.
Yeah, if you do it right. I'm not
If
sure
you
at
want to
all I'm doing it
use
right.
this to grow flower beds, go for it.
Gary said, Jim, you're talking about the real shit show now. And Sandy, there's a great book, I Shat in a Bucket. Must be the title. I Shat in a Bucket. Well, I have the Humanure book, the Humanure book, the book of the Bible of human shit to grow. So I've got that. So I'm going to be doing that this week. Although, Jim, I have a 50-pound bucket of potatoes downstairs. Not a 50-pound bucket, a 5-gallon bucket. God knows how much it weighs of potatoes. I have to peel, and can and make soup and tomatoes and peppers. So if you think I'm going to learn software, it's going to take me just a little longer. Just a little longer. Oh, Rick said aerobic composting is approved by the UN for manure. Okay. God, I love this show
Hmm.
and I love all of you. All of you are so awesome. Look at all the
Now,
different things we've gone through tonight.
I actually thought about using a composting toilet, but the ones available up here in well, first of all, they were friggin' huge. You have to like climb 17 stories just to get to the top of it to park your ass down on it. But
Uh, shit.
it was a ungainly huge thing. And up here in Alaska with the cold and stuff like that, to try and maintain proper ventilation, and maintain the proper temperature, it was actually difficult to do. So using the electric toilet was actually a, in my case, the better way to go.
Okay. Well, see, and we're all going to have to think of something different than just the flush. Seriously. I mean, that's why I got the
Oh yeah, I mean,
outhouse. And if I have to go and use the outhouse in the wintertime, if something happens, I will. I will, because this summer, with 2 months of no water, okay, I did not take a fucking shower. And I did not wash my clothes. Oh, but baby, I got watermelons, cantaloupes, peppers. I've still got watermelons out there in the garden, so I guess it's okay. We don't all have to take showers all the time every day, guys. We don't.
I take like
Just
one
use it.
once a week. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. Just use your I get it from the lady at the farmer's market, the activated charcoal pits for the pits, activated charcoal. No aluminum, no breast cancer. There you go. There you go. Oh
My
my
my shower
goodness.
My shower head is 1.7 gallons per minute.
Oh, wait a minute. I would use a toilet before I would peel a potato. Why would you ever peel a potato? Depends. I'm going to peel some of them for soup. He's asking me why I would peel a potato. I don't peel them all, but when I make soup, I'm going to peel them all. And yes, I know that potatoes, all of the nutrients are in the skin. I know. He can
It's funny
harass me.
because many years ago, I actually worked for like a summer as a tour guide, taking people to like the Brooks Range and stuff like that. And I've been up here in Alaska for like 36 years or some crap like that.
Like shit.
And until about 10 years ago, maybe, I'd always use an outhouse. So when I finally built this house here, the first damn thing is like indoor toilet. I was actually more excited about having an indoor toilet in a garage of all things.
Aw,
But
that's
so
great.
one of the tourists there was asking me, so use an outhouse when it's like really cold out there? I go, yep. What do you do? I said, hey, whatever comes out on the first squeeze, you leave it and go.
Oh boy, have we had fun tonight. I'm telling you. Oh, Vegematic. What do you mean potatoes no longer have vitamin A due to genetic engineering? Mine do. I used my potatoes came from not store bought, unless that means it. Oh my God. This is the most amazing chat actually tonight. John D says anaerobically digested humans sounds the way to go, but it sounds dubious if Grant is being recycled as heat through the district heating. Ew. God, please. Oh boy. Okay, read Under the Bleachers by Seymour Butts. Okay, we're really doing. We're really getting a little crazy tonight. But actually, listen, it was good. It was yes. And yes, Driftless Hermit, I will use the skin. Oh, I should never have said I was gonna peel the goddamn potatoes. But when you make soup, there's some soups you have to. Anyway, all right. So guys, how are we doing? How are we doing, Jim? Since I'm so goofy. You doing good? You going good? Okay, let's see. Is Bigfoot around your house? An outhouse would suck to have to go to if Bigfoot was out there. And you're in Alaska. Bears?
Well, in wintertime, the bears are
Oh, they're
sleeping.
hibernating. That's right. In wintertime, they're hibernating.
It's moose you have to worry about.
The big moose. You got the big moose. I got baby deer. You got big moose. Yeah. He's got big moose. All right, guys.
I one time, luckily this was summertime,
and
so I went to use the outhouse, and all of a sudden this cow moose and her calf decided to come strolling in, and they decided to bed down not 20 feet in front of where I was sitting and shitting. And they decided to have a bed down to chew their cud. Moose chew their cud. I don't know if people are aware of that.
They chew the cud.
So there it is, 20, and I'm like, oh great, in here because mommy and her baby are like looking right at me. Yeah, I literally had to wait several hours for them to decide to chew that cud and decide to get up there and move on out. So there I was, several hours in the outhouse. Great, wonderful.
Oh my God, several hours. That's kind of skinny. Skinny. Oh God, I that's scary. Oh my gosh, I'm tired, guys. So okay. Let me say hi to astrologer climate witness. Hello, darling. It was great to meet you this last week too. Met her. It was great. And by the way, if I keep looking in different areas, that's because I'm looking at different monitors to try to figure out which way I like the screen and all the stuff I have to read while I'm running the show. Rollins Witch. Hi, Rollins Witch.
A studio there.
Yeah, I do, but I have to figure it out. Oh, Mike. Mike said, Alaska hurricane stirred up the deep water offshore and added a lot of heat to the permafrost and the thermokarst lakes.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at earlier.
Yeah,
Now, the
absolutely.
action, you're getting the physical action in it, but you are mixing in upper layer heat into the substrate. Yeah, that's exactly what one of the concerns are, and that they expect to see an increase in methane release. I need to get a hold of Igor and see if he's going to be able to get on that.
Well, that would be really cool. See if you want. Oh, you know what? Can you get a hold of them, being that they're in Russia and now scientists are not exactly doing their thing with us Americans or the rest of the world? What do you think, Jim?
Well, Igor and Natalia have
They're
actually.
out.
It was interesting because they were like full time at IARC. Then they left IARC to go to Russian Federation. But
Hmm.
then, before all the shit hit, they started splitting their time. They had dual appointments between, the institutes in Russia. I'm blanking on the names right now, and IARC.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if they were able to get, the indications I have from that they're kind of still stuck there, but they're trying to get back here to IARC. So we don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, guys. Darren says people are investigating the methane release from Jim's electric toilet. All right. I think it is Monday silly night. And I have a lot of work to do to figure out how to make these screens work.
Well,
And
you know the old saying, eat beans, America needs the gas,
yeah,
so
oh
there you
yeah,
go.
we need the gas. You guys have been
And
wonderful.
it's funny you should be saying that, because last night I made a huge pot of lentil soup. So
Oh my God, Jim. Okay, it's fine. You know what?
lentil soup with black beans in it.
Okay. I love these sound effects. I'm sorry, but when you know that we are like fucked pretty much, it's just fun to have fun with all of this, and we know that the scientists are all just kicking the can, not the scientists, but the politicians are kicking the can down the road on all this. And here we are talking about some serious issues, but really, tonight just had to be this way. It just had to be this way. And I want to thank all of you, Dee Dee and Kim. Thank you. Yeah, Kim, we're poopy tonight. Kim and Mike and, yeah. Jim's electric toilet blew up. We have to go. We have to go. You guys are the best. Kick it in stereo. Yeah. You guys are really the best. And hopefully, Jennifer and I have a show tomorrow night. I'm just hoping I can get all this stuff figured out and switch around these monitors and make it work for me and you guys. But it took me long enough, as you well know. It took long enough to get this done because I really wanted to get, what would work. And it's going to work. It's just going to take a little time. But Jim, would you like to?
Right.
What? What?
I was the guinea pig tonight.
Yeah, you were the guinea pig tonight. We're gonna end with some goofy music. I thank you, everybody. An hour and 15
Bugs
minutes,
Bunny.
not bad. I mean, it started out, my internet took a shit. Then that came on, and then then I can't get everybody's pictures in the usually all the pictures come up. But hey, listen, Epimu, thank you for coming. You're from Scotland, I think you're here from. We've got a lot of people from all over. All right. Well, I love you guys. We love you guys. And we will see you tomorrow night with Jen. Hopefully it will be a little bit better. Jim, I love you. Thank you so much. You know that one of these days we're going to be knocking on your door. Yep. You better have a guest room for us. All right, guys. Oh yeah, Volt Revolt has to go and eat some beans right now. Okay, yes. And Veg, we love you. We gotta laugh. We have to laugh. Absolutely.
Eating
Laugh
beans,
down.
eating
Laugh
beans
down.
will give you a very warm feeling.
Okay. Love love you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, bye-bye. Mwah.
Good night, all.